right, let's get to the unemployment. All right, we have new data that came out. We need to really clarify this. A lot of the people that I've been talking to over the last week, a lot of concerns about the economy. So let's dig into this a little bit and see where we're going. All right, so this is a Wall Street Journal survey of economists. All right, basically 91.2% say that the recovery is already underway or will be soon. All right, so we got 22.8 says it's already started, 68.4% says in Q3, 1.8 in Q4, 7.1% later. That is 91.2% that is saying we're ready to go. When we take a look at that same general survey, 82.8% of the economists surveyed think that it will be a V-shaped recovery, more continued good predictions and good news, right? The Nike swoosh, that is literally someone sitting on TV and they're making up words, right? There is no such thing as a Nike swoosh unless it's on your shoe or your apparel, right? So what does that mean? Here, watch this. V-shape, that's it. Very simple, right? So if we take a look at what the economists are projecting, call it 83% are saying a V-shaped recovery. Continued great news. All right, so looking back last week at the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, this was their report that came out last week, total non-farm payroll employment rose by 2.5 million in the month of May. We covered this last week, great news. Unemployment percent dropped. Phenomenal news. All right, so here's the updated numbers. All right, so we have gone over the last week from 42.5 million unemployed filings to 44 million people have filed for unemployment. When we look at the number of people collecting the insurance, we see that we ticked down by approximately 100,000 people over the last week. All right, so you see the difference between the filings and the people that are actually collecting. When we take a look at the jobs, those 2.5 million jobs, right? CNBC said the May gain was by far the biggest one-month jobs surge, not surgeon, there's my misspelling for the week, in U.S. history since at least 1939. All right, so we covered this last week. 1.4 million are back in the food and drink industry. 464K in construction, 424 in education and health services, 368 in retail, which is a big number. Everybody was concerned about that. All right, we're still down with hotels and the government jobs, federal, county, city, and state, all down. Right? We know that hotels are going to come back. It's just going to be a function of when people are comfortable traveling and staying in a hotel. All right, so digging further into the report, we covered this last week, but I feel it's really worth going over again. 13% unemployment. Those are real families that are truly being impacted by this. The glass half full side of that is 87% of the country is employed and getting after it on a daily basis to bring the economy back. When we take a look at the people that have or that are currently unemployed, when they were polled and asked, is this permanent or temporary, 81% said temporary, 19% said permanent. Right? That has shifted. Shifted last week. It was approximately 90-10 in that ballpark. We're now at about 80-20. All right, so that's continuing to move. We'll keep an eye on this. All right, so now, the very end of the day last Friday, they came out and said there was a misclassification with the unemployment report, to which not a whole lot of people knew what the heck that was even talking about. So let's dig into what that means, right? So some workers who should have been classified as temporarily unemployed during the shutdown were instead misclassified as employed but absent for other reasons. All right, so other reasons, usually people taking leave to go on vacation, jury duty, taking care of a child or a relative. All right, so what does this do to our numbers? All right, take a look on the left, the dark blue. Those are the numbers that are not corrected. No misclassification error here. All right, so 3.6, 3.5, 4.4 in March, 14.7 in April, 13.3 in May. If we add on top the people that were misclassified and just straight call them unemployed, we go to 5.4% in March, 19.7% in April, 16.3% in May. Doesn't look too good, right? That's a scarier picture Like, hey, hang on a minute, buddy. You were just telling us that, hey, we're good. We just gained jobs, etc. We did, right? But let's take a look deeper into these numbers, right? If we say, okay, cool, you know what? Unemployment was 19.7%. Now it's 16.3%. Okay, cool. We had a 3.4% drop instead of a 1.4% drop in unemployment last month. Still a win. The economy is still coming back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so this is an updated graph that is apparently still not corrected by myself, but here we go anyways. What we're looking at is the depth and the length of past crises compared to what we have going on now. All right, so here's what we have. We know that the Great Depression, which is the red line, had a lot of depth. We got down to 25% unemployment, and it lasted 12 years. We know that the Great Recession had a lot of depth, but not as much as the Great Depression, but it had a good solid amount of length, right? Big deal, 14, 15%, 9 years long. When we look at where we're currently at, right, there's your green line. We dropped down to the 13.3%. Taking a look and using the Wall Street Journal Survey of Economists study that they did, that dark blue line is the new projection for what we're looking at with unemployment rates, right? And could it potentially go into a fourth year, right? We're going to have to keep an eye on this. But here's the take-home message from this. We have depth. People are hurting. 13% of the country is out of work. The biggest difference is the projected length. It's the V-shaped recovery that's being projected. That is the good news, ladies and gentlemen.